Isaiah Olaifa, welcome back. And I'm so glad to have every one of you on board. We're going to give it a little bit of time. We're going to start exactly 1:10. And we are waiting for our keynote speaker, actually, our Honorable Jagaban of Youth Tourism. And I believe every one of you are going to agree with me that Dr. Omololu John is our Jagaban of Youth Tourism. And is our keynote speaker today. But let me quickly use this opportunity to introduce to you our speakers and panelists that are already on ground while we are waiting for others. I have in the house this afternoon with all honor and reverence, because this is somebody who is an industry regulator as well as an industry practitioner. Okay, let me quickly introduce to the house the Vice President of the National Association of Nigerian Travel Agencies, NANTA, in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, and also the founder of Tourism Plus NG. Please help me to welcome Ambassador Kayode Adeshola, Ambassador K. We are so glad to have you with us this afternoon. And thank you very much. I hope we can all see on the screen. Yes, I have my panelists and my speakers profile on the screen. Next, that I'm going to be actually welcoming to the platform this afternoon is my first panel member. I have this afternoon a panel of young tourism practitioners and professionals, not just practitioners. These are tourism youths who are practicing the youth tourism business, but they are not just practitioners, but they are professionals. And the first on the list this afternoon is a young man who I can consider as a youth at heart and a tourist at heart. Please, join me to welcome Mr. Ibrahim Makonjuola, my first panel member.
Thank you.
And also my co-moderator today. Thank you for joining me.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you for joining me. All right. Don't forget, if you are just joining us, please mute your audio so that we can have a wonderful experience today. So, going on in my introduction, the meeting has started already. I'm wondering where that background noise is coming from. Only my panelist microphone is not muted. So can you help me to check? Any of my panel member that you have a background noise, can you help me eliminate that? Thank you. And next on my panel list this afternoon is a man who I consider also as a youth at heart and somebody who loves the tourism industry at heart. Without wasting further time, kindly join me this afternoon to welcome the founder and the president of the Yoruba Tourism Club, Ogbeni, as he called himself, Ogbeni Babajide Fajui. Ogbeni Babajide Fajui. A round of applause for him, please. He's not only a tourist at heart, he's also a proud Yoruba. So he's not using Mr. It would be a mistake for me to introduce him as Mr. on this particular wonderful platform. And then finally, on my introduction assignment this afternoon, I have the honor and the reference of this wonderful industry that has blessed us with energetic, vibrant, female, young tourism professionals. And I am glad to say that she is our only female speaker today on this panel, and unarguably one of the best in the industry. You can argue that, but this person I'm introducing is not only a female young tourism professional, is also an award winner. So please, can you, with a round of applause, help me to celebrate award-winning travel blogger, the Fisayo. Yes, yes,
Welcome
yes.
on board.
We are so happy to have you. We are so happy to have
Thank
you.
you, sir.
So
Very much.
let me quickly also remind my participants that the Fisayo is not the only award-winning practitioner in this industry that is in the house. Okay, my keynote speakers in the person of Dr. John Omololu, who we are still waiting for. He has actually contacted me that he's having some challenges with his internet connection. He's trying to get a better internet connection, a Wi-Fi, Spectranet, to join us. He's going to join us very soon. But definitely you all know that my second keynote speaker, Ambassador Kayode Adishola, is an award-winning practitioner, somebody who is IATA accredited, somebody who practices the business of travel and tourism to the core, and also the vice president of NANTA. Not only that, my panel member, the first person on the list, Mr. Ibrahim Makonjola, the managing director of Get It To Me Travels, founder of IBM Tours, and initiator of Nigerian Tourism Lovers. He is himself also an award winner. Myself and himself were at Abuja last year to accept our award as emerging leaders in the category for top 100 tourism personalities in Nigeria. A round of applause to this young man.
Thank you so much.
So from what I can see here, I think people are having challenges joining us. We have about 15 participants here. 5 of us are panelists. We have 10 participants in the house. And from what I just got as a feedback, people are having challenges because of network, but we are not going to wait. And we're going to just move on in this particular wonderful webinar. We have a lot to cover today, and it's already 1:15. So having done introduction of my panel members and keynote speaker, without wasting any much further time, within the next 2 minutes I have, because this is 1:13, I'll quickly remind us again the housekeeping rules. Number one, on the housekeeping rules this afternoon, only key speakers and panelists are allowed to use their microphones. Only speakers and panelists are allowed to use the microphones. IBM Tours will be my co-moderator today. So Mr. IBM, can I quickly ask you to engage people in the chat room? Just help us welcome them.
Yes.
And then help me to remind them that only their questions, only the chat room will be used for questions. That is housekeeping rule number 3. Questions must be dropped in the chat sessions only, because we are not going to be allowing anybody to make use of their microphones, so that we can have a wonderful experience today. Okay, so housekeeping rule number 2 says that all other participants must mute their microphones during the webinar. Please, as you are joining this webinar, it's very important you mute your microphone, because if you don't mute your microphone, we're going to be having a lot of interferences and distractions, which we don't want. Number 3, we will take question and answer sessions, but you can begin to drop your questions in the chat session now. Begin to drop them in the chat session now. We will be taking questions only in the chat room. Make sure they are intelligent, relevant questions. And then contributions will be taken. It's not that we are not going to allow you to talk. Participants are going to talk, but we will allow 5 people to talk today, or that 3 people rather. 3 people are going to give us their contributions on the platform, but we are going to be taking people who fulfill 2 criteria. Number 1, you must be using your full name on Zoom. I'm seeing people that are using their mobile phone name. So there is an option on Zoom to rename. You can rename yourself. I can see somebody who is using Nokia X4 or Galaxy X5, X7. If you are not using your full name, you will not be allowed to contribute, number 1. And then the other thing is that you must raise up your hand. So if you want to contribute, you have to raise up your hand. If you're not raising up your hand, you will not be allowed to contribute. So if you have your full name and then you are raising your hand, I'm going to choose the first 3 people to raise up their hand to contribute to us on this topic. And then finally, we are going to be sending out the slide of this particular webinar and the recording to our participants. So if you are a participant who has not yet sent your details to our email, we advise you to do that. We advise you to do that. I have about 30 participants that have officially registered for this webinar. 17 are in the room right now, but actually we are expecting that only those who officially register will be able to get the presentation slide and a video recording of this session for playback. Having said that, we're going to go straight into looking at a little bit of what this webinar is all about. Aviation, tourism, and hospitality post-COVID-19 recovery webinar. Now, welcome on board to the world of COVID-19. Looking at your screen, you're going to see that there are actually is a disaster that's going on right now. Okay, look at the estimated airport passenger traffic loss for this year. When we came into 2020, we thought everything was going to be nice. Nothing is going to be, it's a year of bounty. There were a lot of prophecies, but COVID-19 struck, and then here we have found ourselves. Don't forget, the focus of this webinar is on youth tourism innovation. And my question, and the question that we all are going to be answering today, is what part should the youth, how should we young people in tourism, how should we engage ourselves? How should we involve ourselves in the business of recovery? Because the truth of the matter is that this industry is going to recover. Let me take you to a part of my slide that is very interesting that I want us to establish something today. Okay, this is not the first time that the industry is witnessing issues or crisis. We've been in crisis before. Okay, looking at this slide on the screen right now, we're going to be looking at a situation that has happened before. In 2001, September 11 happened. Okay, 19 hijackers hijacked an aircraft and they turned aviation into a weapon of mass destruction. In 2001, that happened, and the tourism industry in the United States and the entire North America was in disarray. Not only that, in 2003, 2 years interval, 2 years in between, the SARS epidemic broke out. Okay, and that SARS epidemic was also, well, it wasn't a pandemic, but it was an epidemic. But the truth of the matter is that between 2003 and 2009, there was a 117% increase in international tourism arrivals all over the world. And that is the purpose of the slide on the screen. Also, between 2009 and the year 2020, there has been a 64% increase in global tourism all over the world. And that is the reason why we are talking about recovery. We are talking about recovery because the tourism industry has experienced crisis before, and we have recovered from it. So we believe that automatically, after the end of COVID-19, definitely there's going to be a recovery. We don't want to wait until then before we now begin to do what we are supposed to do. That is the reason why we are focusing today on what should be youths, young people, young men, young women practicing in tourism, or who are just graduating from schools, or who are actively involved in the industry. What should we do right now? And the first person that's going to be taking us on this subject is going to be none other person today than my keynote speaker too, because we are still actually waiting for our first keynote speaker, Dr. John Omodolu. But in his absence right now, I'm going to be handing over the floor to my second keynote speaker today, who is none other than the boss himself, who is also with us this afternoon in person of Ambassador Kayode Adeshola of Tourism Plus NG. So you have the floor, Ambassador Kayode, the Vice President of NANTA Abuja Zone.
Hello, everyone. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you very much. My captain.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I appreciate the privilege given to me So I believe you can all hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, we
thank you
can hear
very
you.
much. So first and foremost, I so much appreciate the organizers of this great webinar, and I want to thank every one of us, the participants and the panelists. So this is a good one for us, especially for the tourism and aviation industry, including the hospitality. So I want to welcome everyone of us once again on this webinar. I want us to know something for sure, that irrespective of what the challenges are now, that is going to be over. Everything that has beginning always has an end. This is a serious challenge for everybody, especially the whole world, the whole universe. But I want to assure us that sooner or later, it's to need to do. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
You can hear me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So when we, according to the topic of discussion today, the aviation, tourism, and hospitality post-COVID-19 recovery plan. And today's discussion is particularly about how youth can be engaged, how youth can be carried along, how prepared our youth for the post-COVID recovery plan. So as industry player, I think what we need to do is to engage the youth and let them know what are at stake for us after COVID-19. To start with, I always say something that even before COVID-19, the world, Nigeria, it has been an hidden treasure that we still need to discover, that even our government are yet to discover it. The government has been so focused on the oil sector, but look at what is happening now in the whole world. As at the last time I remember, I think crude oil was sold for $20. Not oil might no longer be relevant. And I want us to take it that after COVID-19, the first industry that will pick up is the tourism, the aviation industry in general. The tourism, the hospitality industry will be the first industry that will pick up. But how are we prepared as industry players? And another thing is that tourism to Africa has remained a secret. Though there are some countries in Africa, like four of them, South Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, they have before of income. Tourism has been the major provider for them. Tourism has been the highest provision in sustaining the economy. But what happened to us here in this part of Africa, Nigeria, we have so long neglected tourism, and now it's falling back to us. So Come to the question, the recovery plan, and how we can engage the youth. I think as industry player, what we need to do now is to start making the youth to know the importance of tourism. How do we go about that? We should try to see how we can. Hello? Hello?
Yes, we are with you. We can hear you.
Yeah, we should try to see how we can engage the youth through training. The industry players should come together, synergize together, put us together to see how we can have training session for the youth so that we can educate them more on the importance of tourism and especially to take this economy, this country out of what COVID-19 has put us into. Because believe you me, I want us to get something today that with COVID-19, the whole world has gone into a reset. Everybody has gone to ground zero. So by the time the COVID-19 is over, we are all starting afresh. We are starting at ground zero. But how prepared are we? So what we need to do as industry player and as government is to make sure that we carry the youth along. Because any country that
It looks like we are having a little bit challenge with Ambassador Coyote's connection. So while we are with, okay, thank you for that.
like empowerment skills. There should be empowerment, youth empowerment skills that will engineer the youth, that will encourage the youth to know what to do in order to take us out of this economic mess that COVID-19 has put us into. Look at our various tourist destinations around the country. What are we doing about them? Have we ever before now encouraged the youth to know the importance, the advantages of those destinations? Look at the Osogbo Festival. Look at the Oluwa Rock, promoted those destinations in the past. Youth, especially those in that community, know that selling or promoting those places, those destinations will easily take us out of the mess that COVID-19 has put everybody into. We need to communicate with the youth. We need to carry them along. Hello?
Yeah, we are with you. Your time is up, sir. I'm about to stop you. It's already 1:30.
Hello?
Yeah, we've been listening to you, sir. Thank you very much. So, a wonderful, very welcome one from the ambassador himself, for him to have told us that the first thing to be done is for us to empower the youth. And I want to appreciate him for that. We are still waiting for our second keynote speaker, but time is running out already. So I would like to, at this time, bring in my very first panel speaker. And I want to use this time before he comes on board to tell every participant that you are still making use of a microphone. I have the power from my hand to remove you. I've actually had to put some people in the waiting room because they did not mute their mic. So please, people are still joining this particular webinar and time is running out on us. There is no time to waste. So let us make use of this opportunity. Without further wasting of time, I'd like to bring on my first panel member. And the question for him is, as the managing director of IBM Tours, the initiator of the Nigerian Tourism Lovers, what are you doing, sir, and that is to Mr. Makanjola Ibrahim. What are you doing currently to make sure that you are engaging the industry during this crisis, and what are your plans post-COVID-19 to make sure that the industry bounce back? What are you doing, and what is your advice to other youths on this platform? And over to you now, Mr. Ibrahim Makanjola. Thank you very much. You have the floor.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Fine. We understand before COVID-19 came to Nigeria, we've been hearing of COVID-19 all over China, and everybody. One thing about our country is we don't easily take action until when we see that this thing is here. And that is one of the major crises, one of the major reasons why this thing is eating us like this, because we did not take action when we are supposed to. And at this particular time, what I do advise people is, we are shouting COVID-19, but fear keeps faster than even this COVID-19. Because whatever we post there online, whatever we post on our social media, maybe false news, there was something that's like, for the past few days, I stay in Ebeda. For the past few days, there was this armed robbers that have been terrorizing the environment, and going online, seeing videos that people are posting about it, videos that have been for like so many years, and people are still saying it is present. And these are something that pose fear to people, and people are scared. People are scared of COVID-19. People are scared of hunger. People are scared of even staying in their houses. So this is one thing I want to beg everyone for, that please, we should be mindful of what information we pass across to our people, to maybe on social media platform, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and so on. And some of the things I have to talk about after COVID-19, the fact that this thing has really eaten up our industry. It has really eaten up our industry, and not just about Nigeria. This is something that affected the whole world. It's not just even Africa. And as a tourism practitioner, as a tour operator, some of the things I'm trying to look into after COVID-19 is, one, the security we're talking about in this country. Security is one of the major problems we have in Nigeria. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. One of the major problems we have in this country is security, even before COVID-19. Now there is COVID-19, and COVID-19 will come and it's going to go. That's certain. We don't just know when it's going to go, maybe next month, maybe next 2 months, but we pray and we hope that this thing is going to go soon. What will happen after COVID-19? How are we going to feed so many employees, so many employers? They are facing so many challenges. What are going to be the hope of these people? One of the major things as a tour operator is security. If we look into Nigeria, our security situation in Nigeria, even before COVID-19, is not proper. And now there is hunger strike. And when there is hunger, they say there's this saying that they say an hungry man is an angry man. When there is hunger strike, people pose to do different things. People want to steal. People want to put other people's life in danger because of that. So it is very important that we try our possible best to be security conscious. What is happening around us? What are we seeing? What is the next house doing? We need to be security conscious. It is very important. That's first about security. Two, it is very important at this time that we encourage our inbound tourism. That is domestic tourism, regional tourism. It is very, very important. Every youth in Nigeria, as we know before now, want to escape, as I say, want to escape Nigeria. They don't want to leave Nigeria because they see Nigeria as somewhere that people, they are just holding their destiny, or they can't do something, they can't make it in Nigeria. Let me use that word. But the sincere truth is, as long as you're in Nigeria and you've been born here, there's nowhere you're going to. You can't take away the facts from your head, from your mind, that you're Nigerian. Being US, being in Canada, being Brazil, the sincere truth is you're still a Nigerian. And imagine what is happening to Nigerians in China as we speak. They are saying they are the source of COVID-19. Why? When we know these people, they are the source. So one thing I want to beg us for is, please, domestic tourism, we should try and encourage ourselves to explore our own country. We should explore our own country, because when we explore our own country, this is something that is going to gear up. At least we know that where we are now, we are not somewhere good, even before COVID-19. And imagine when COVID-19 struck now, and imagine where we are going to be after COVID-19. The sincere truth is everything is going to go down to ground zero, as our keynote speaker said. It's going to go down to ground zero. So this is a time for us as youth to be more innovative, think of new strategy. Now, one thing I also want to talk about is our social media platforms. As I said earlier, what we post on our social media platform is important. But at this particular time, I don't see any reason why more of your social media platform should be about the bad aspect of COVID-19. It shouldn't just be they've killed so, they've, okay, they are stealing in so. You should try all your possible best to gear up your audience. Let them know they're still live. They're still live after this. There are so many employees that are at home that are just doing one thing or the other. So many people are even tired. So many people are giving up that the hunger strike and everything. So why not take your social media platform in this particular sense? Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that. Very important take-home points there. Let's engage our social media for positive news on tourism, and let us not spread the bad things about tourism and COVID-19. And secondly, our panel member here have said that we should look inward at this time. We should look inward at this time. This is a time for us to look at our inbound tourism. Without much further ado, because time is not on our side, like I said earlier, I'm going to bring in on my second panel speaker. I want to believe he's still with us. And that is somebody who I introduced to you earlier, and somebody who's not only a youth at heart, but a Yoruba at heart. So please permit me to bring on board my one and only Ogbeni. I won't make the mistake of calling him Mr. Ogbeni Babajide Fajuyi. Please, you have the floor, sir. What are you doing currently? And post-COVID-19, what are your plans? Thank you very much. You have the floor, sir.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Captain. I call you Captain.
Yeah. You don't want to call me Mr.
My name is Oh, sorry. I'm okay. I'm not Mr. Mr. is actually a very good. That's okay. Thank you for everybody for coming. My sincere advice to all of us to post-COVID-19 is that we should try and take on free tourism-related courses. Free tourism-related courses online. There are lots of them so that we can know exactly.
I'm sorry, but I think we can't hear you.
Oh, can you come up louder? Yes, please continue, but we need more volume.
It's low and cracky.
I think that must be his internet connection.
It is internet connection actually. Well, I'm just saying we should just always try and take more of tourism-related courses online. It will expand our views. It will expand our understanding. So at the end of the day, after the COVID-19 thing, we'll have more ideas
We are not getting you, Mr. Fajuyi. Unfortunately, we are not getting you. We are not getting you. Too bad. Okay, we also have people in the house who are using their mic. I think that interference too, which is very unnecessary, is part of it. So, Mr. Fajuyi, we like to get one or two things you have said. You said that we should, our young people should take online courses at this time for the benefit of those who did not hear what he said. He was trying to say that young people now, or youth in tourism, should take advantage of online courses to empower themselves at this time. And I think that is a very beautiful one, but we will like as much as possible to still get more of you. We'll come back to you later. Now, without wasting much time is running out. I would like us to bring on board our only female speaker for this particular webinar. And I know he has a message to our female audience, because I can see our female audiences here. I can see my very good friend from Taswed, Alabi Atinuke, I'm shouting out to you right now. You are there, I can see you. I have some of my female CEOs who have been beneficiaries of my tourism business owners coaching. Okay, I can see Faith Oguntayo from my COVID-19 private coaching on Telegram. So our panel speaker 3 is a female tourism blogger, travel and tourism blogger, and also an award-winning one at that. Now, I want you to talk to our audience, especially the female audience. What should they be doing? How can they engage the industry right now and also engage themselves, not only for the recovery, even right now when COVID-19 is still happening? And then what should they do after COVID-19 as young women in tourism? And I want you to watch out for that club. I'm working around that young women in tourism club, and I want you to be the chairperson of that club. Let me quickly drop that, but details will come later. So you have the floor.
Thank you.
My award-winning travel blogger.
Okay, can we stop with the award winning? All right, so I need to know how many minutes do I have?
5 minutes, please.
Ooh, okay. All right, I'll try to say everything I have to say in 5 minutes. Thank you very much for having me. I'm happy to be here. So I am Fisayo, a tourism development advocate, content creator. I promote destinations in Africa on my site, fisayo.com. I also have a company named TravelCP where we connect tourists to tour operators. So now to answer your questions, what I'm going to share is what I've actually been applying to myself. Even yesterday, I put out a content on the effect of COVID-19 on tourism, on women in tourism.
Yeah,
I'll start with statistics. Yes, I'll start with statistics given by UNWTO. Number one, you should know, if you don't know, that the tourism industry is comprised of 54% women. So we have more women in tourism than men.
Wow.
Yes. So one thing I have been doing this COVID-19 period is strategizing my content to benefit my audience. Now, for those who do not know me, I already just mentioned that I'm a tourism development advocate and content creator. Content creator meaning I write on my blog, thefisayo.com. I also have videos that I put out promoting destinations in Africa on my YouTube channel, Fisayo. So this period, what I would advise you, if you don't already do any of those things, since you can't go out and be traveling, try and look inward and develop a new skill. Try something new if you don't already do that. And if you already do that, if you already have a blog, if you already have a YouTube channel, try and serve your audience more this period. Let's ask them, what do they want? I'm assuming you're here because you're a tourism person or you're a travel enthusiast. So ask your audience, what do you want me to write about? Because sometimes I tell people, assumption is the mother of frustration. So if you don't want to be frustrated, ask questions. It's very easy. The easiest thing is just going to somebody's DM and saying, hey Faith, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you think? Or asking a question on your Instagram poll if you use Instagram. Or just try and be creative. But one thing is try and get a new skill, learn a new skill. Jide said something earlier about masterclasses. That's one thing I've been doing a lot this period also. I have consumed a lot of content, both free and paid masterclasses. I'm currently even hosting a masterclass for those who want to learn how to start a travel blog this period. If you're interested too, we can talk about that. So those are the two things I think you should learn: a new skill and improve on or re-strategize your content. Maybe you should start giving them more of all the other, like for example, I'm going to keep using myself as an example. An example is I've been to Kenya, I've been to Uganda, I've been to Ghana, and most of this content I've not put them out. And this is the right time for me. I'm releasing a video this night by 9 p.m. on my Kenya content. And I know that, everybody's at home. Some people are even very bored this period. I'm using this time to catch their attention on destinations to visit that I've visited in the past. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I advise you to do. Next, collaboration. Last week or last 2 weeks, I went on even what I'm doing here right now is collaboration. You invited me on your webinar to talk to your audience, to also enlighten them, to let them know what they need to do and what they can improve on. That is what whoever it is that's listening needs to do. Try and look for ways to collaborate with people in the industry so that you can also grow your own brand recognition. This is the period where if you're a business person, your audience will know whether or not to take you serious because you're either going to set them with the good content or not. If you don't set them with the good content, they'll be like, you're not here for us when everything was down. So why should we even patronize you at all. So try and engage with your content, partner with people, collaborate with people. And yeah, I've given you 4 points. My last point is, yes, leverage technology. After COVID, um, even this COVID is helping people understand why technology is important and how you can also harness. Before COVID, we would not have been having this conference on Zoom, but COVID has helped everybody become more innovative. I know a lot of people will be strategizing or create new innovative plans going forward. I feel like everybody's going to. I mean, this is your time to shine if you are a problem solver. So try and leverage on technology. One way you can do this is start a tech company that is focused on virtual tourism. I know there's a company right now owned by Mr. Femi where you can, visit destinations online or using virtual tourism.
Virtual tourism.
If that doesn't make sense to you, I can always send you a link to an article so you can see what it looks like. There are many virtual sites online too that people use. So this kind of people, of course, this is their time for them to benefit and make more money because everybody's online now. And whoever is that really wants really wants to visit a destination that is really hungry can either go to watch a video on YouTube that I have been releasing or go to this virtual site and grow. So what you can do this period is think of ways you can also leverage technology even after COVID, so that your business will keep growing and you will not have to be crying.
Thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause to our female panel speaker today. That was awesome. Wonderful ones, very salient points. And let me quickly announce to the house that some minutes ago, when you saw my video went off, I was trying to put a call across. I actually put a call across to our key panel speaker, Dr. John Omololu, and he joined with a device and is already here with us. He said he already saw Fisayo, saw Ambassador Kayode, saw every one of us. I want to quickly see if he is ready to give us his own particular part. He's having challenges with network, he told me, but I want us to make sure that he needs to, give us his say on this matter. But while we are waiting for him to get ready, okay, because his video is not even on right now, but I've requested him to start his video. All right, so I can use this time to bring on my second panel member, Mr. Jide. Mr. Jide, can you take us on right now?
Yeah, thank you. I hope you can get me loud and clear now.
Yes, we are hearing you now.
Yeah, the second point I was trying to make was the desire actually mentioned it. It's about
yes, we can hear you.
Leveraging on technologies like the virtual tourism initiative. It is only you can actually visit without getting there. And these are one of the things we are working on at Yoruba Tourism Club to make people see where they want to go before they are actually there.
Still having issues with your audio, but thank you for making that point. Okay, for the sake of those of you that you are not hearing very well, he was trying to say that we should leverage on virtual tourism at this time. And let me quickly use this opportunity to announce to the house, like our female panel speaker said, that this COVID-19 wouldn't have given us opportunity to take advantage of technology. Take, for example, before COVID-19 started, I have been trying in so many ways to bring young people together for my master classes. Many of you know me. I was the initiator in 2018 of youth tourism master classes. Okay, and I must say that those master classes, we did it different town cities: Abuja, Ibadan, Oyo, Oshun, Abeokuta. When I went to Abeokuta, I had a wonderful time with the Tasue Tourism Club students, Mapoli Tourism Club students, FUNAB. It was a wonderful time, but those training and master classes have been very expensive because they were free. We only allowed people to pay for certificate. So I've been trying before now to organize a master class session online, but it's been very difficult. But now that COVID-19 has happened, it's the reason why I can have everybody together here on Zoom for a webinar. So while I'm waiting for my first keynote speaker to join us, he is now very much with us. Let me quickly use this opportunity to announce that very soon we're going to be having a virtual tourism masterclass, and I'm going to be discussing with Fisayo. There is a virtual tourism company I was talking to before, but Fisayo mentioned the particular virtual tourism professional who is also on this platform. So I want you to watch out for a very soon coming virtual tourism masterclass, and it's going to be announced to you through your email. That's one of the reasons why we ask people to submit their emails. So watch out. How can you make use of virtual tourism to promote destinations? That training is coming up very soon. Whether it's going to be free or you're going to pay a token, we're going to communicate to you at the end of this webinar or within the next day. By the time you get a play of this video, you're going to find out. So permit me now to bring on board my very own Jagaban of youth tourism, Dr. John Omololu. Please, a round of applause for Dr. John Omololu. Sir, you have the floor now. Please talk to us. Sir, you have to unmute your speaker. I'm trying to do that from my hand here, but you have to do it from where you are, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we are trying to connect with Dr. John Omololu. He is the one that is joining us with this Infinite Note 6 mobile device, but unfortunately, I can't have his audio. I've been trying to unmute him, but it's not working. While we are expecting him to join us, let's quickly use this time to continue. This is already 2 o'clock. This meeting is supposed to end by 2:30. And now I want us to have 2 or 3 contributors. My panel members have spoken. Our keynote speaker has spoken. Now we want to hear from you guys, our participants. What do you have to say concerning tourism post-COVID-19 recovery? And the people that will qualify to contribute, they must be people who are using their full name on Zoom, and they must raise their hand. So can I have any member of participant of this webinar raising up their hand for their own contribution? I'm expecting a contribution from Alabit Atinoke. I hope you have a contribution. Anybody? You have to raise your hand. If you check the menu button on the dashboard of your Zoom, you will see the option of raising your hand up. Is there anybody who want to have a contribution on the floor concerning this topic while we are still trying to get across to our keynote speaker, Dr. John Omololu? Okay, let me try to unmute Atinoke. Atinoke, do you have anything you want to tell us? You are once a executive member of, oh, she's not with us. Sorry about that. She's not with us. Any member of the panel who want to contribute, any member of the participant rather, who wants to contribute? I'm checking the participant list. Okay. No contributions yet. All right. Since we don't have, oh, okay, IBM has a contribution, all right. So you want to add up to whatever you have said before. Okay, the floor is yours, IBM Toss.
I think Nguruka is raising up her hand.
I think GT wants to say something.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, one thing I just want to throw in is, well, I have a list of stuffs I wanted to say, but because of the time,
Yes.
I was unable to say all, but
Okay.
I feel it's something I can still throw in now.
Please.
Now,
go ahead,
apart
sir.
from saying the domestic, okay, apart from the domestic tourism, like we encouraging ourselves about inbound tourism, one major thing that the Fisayo and Ogbeni GD have said about visual tourism. That is very, very important. One other thing I want to talk about is prioritizing people's safety. It is very important that we prioritize people's safety. As a tourism operator, you're packaging tours, you want people to come after COVID-19, that's post-COVID-19. What are you putting in place? What are the things, what are the stuffs you're putting in place to make sure that their safety is number one to you, is the first thing on your mind? Because they are still afraid, everybody is still scared. Because as a matter of fact, nobody for now, we want to go out, like, to combine with different people that they don't know after COVID-19. That's the sincere truth. But these are some of the things we need to look into. Prioritizing their safety is one. Also, we need to develop resilience plan that will help you survive that particular moment. As companies, as tour operators, as travel agencies, as travel bloggers, we need to come up with resilience plan after COVID-19. Also, the last one I want to talk about is developing a communication and social media plan, which I stylishly talked about the other time. Because as youth, we have more power on social media platform. Even as Nigerians, we are good in shouting and talking on social media platform, Twitter, Instagram, and the rest. And this is the best time for us also to come out and pour out our mind, not just pour out our mind, pour it out in the right medium. Not like you are scaring people, you are making people afraid of going out or doing one thing or the other. So these are just other few points that I have that I wanted to add to it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. IBM Tours. I can see my keynote speaker is also raising his hand. So let me quickly give the floor to him. Please go ahead, sir, and please educate us. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Opportunity to strive. This is an open check for us as a youth. I want to let us know that at the end of COVID-19, a lot of the bigger boys, the bigger agencies, their company will be open for partnership. So the youth should get ready to key into that. Partnership with work is the key, it's one of the keys. Then the online presence, as mentioned by IBM, the Yoruba Club founder and the Chisayo, yes, this is another key that we youth need to take very seriously. We need to be online. If our businesses have not gotten online presence, this is the time we need to start working on it. And I want us to know that to get some of these services now that everybody is at home are very cheap. I was on a platform some days ago and I saw someone advertising website development for like 10 or 15,000. So if any of us that have an existing business as youth, if we have 10,000, 15,000 now, this is an opportunity for us to start putting content together in order to have our online presence, so that as soon as COVID-19 is, you just launch out. So as youth, we need to start looking at to some of these big agencies, big tourism companies that can accommodate us as sub-agents. We can be under them and grow as well as the company are growing. And another thing we need to do as local associations and groups, we need to come together. We need to synergize together. We need to brainstorm together on how to develop our domestic tourism. I joined the webinar in South Africa this afternoon. And what they were discussing about was all domestic tourism, how they will invite people, foreigners to their country to come and better the economy. So what are we doing as tour operators in Nigeria. I respect those guys in Lagos, the youth in Lagos. In fact, whenever I see their posts on social media, I do give kudos to them. The youth in Lagos, those in the industry, they are doing quite well promoting tourism. So we as the industry players, we need that. We need to support them and encourage more youth to come on board. So in any way we can do that, IBM, the Desire, my co-founder, then TBS. Let's look for what we can do. If need be for us to organize training, it might be free to start with. Let's give them the basics of what and what to do to make tourism work after after COVID-19. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm making a call directly to Dr. Mololu. Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, are you Infinite or 7 on the platform? Okay, are you ready to? Okay, all right. So, sir, you have the floor already, but you need to unmute your mic. Is your mic unmuted, sir? Okay, so I'm also going to start your video. Can I start your video? Okay, I've requested for you to start your video and I'm unmuting you. So, sir, you are unmuted. Also check your button to be sure that you are unmuted, sir. It's connecting again. That means it is your network. Oh, too bad. Okay.
If you have credit, you can just use the phone over. You can just put the phone on loudspeaker while it speaks.
Okay, while you speak, I can put the phone in speaker so that we can all hear, but that means that we have to remove my microphone. Okay, all right. Hello, sir. Okay, now what we are going to do now is that I'm going to give you a call through my mobile phone, and then I will put you on speaker, and then so that everybody can hear. I will put the speaker very close to my microphone, to my laptop microphone, so that everybody can hear. So let me load up my call card, and then I'll give you another call so that you can have what you have to tell us, sir. Thank you very much. You are welcome, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, my industry colleagues, we cannot afford not to have our very own Jagaban in the house. So quickly permit me to place a call across to him. We thank you very much, Fisayo, for that suggestion. That is part of leveraging on technology. So we are going to put a call across to the Jagaban of youth tourism, the convener of Youth Tourism and Hospitality Leadership Forum. For, I think, if not for post-COVID-19, we should be having the 12th edition of that particular Youth Tourism and Hospitality Leadership Forum this year. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have Dr. John Omololu. Good afternoon, sir. Hello, sir. Yes, we can hear you, sir.
We can't hear you.
Can we hear him?
No. If he's not on speaker, we can't hear him.
Oh, I already put him on speaker.
Wow.
Hello, sir. Please, you can keep talking. I will find out if participant can hear you, sir.
We can't hear him.
We can hear. Oh, too bad, too bad, too bad. His wealth of knowledge is so something we cannot do without. Okay, ICT guys in the house, how can we connect with Dr. Mololu? Is there any other way that we can connect with him? Oh, yes, I have an idea. This is what we are going to do. We're going to get a video session with him, recorded, and then we're going to send it along with a replay of this particular webinar. How about that?
Sounds good.
Can you hear me, everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. I said we are going to get a video recording with Dr. Omololu for him to send to us. We're going to send that video along with the replay of this particular webinar. How about that?
Okay, that's nice.
Good.
That would be
That's
nice.
good.
Yeah.
So, and that's the advantage for those who have registered. So
That's okay.
Yes, if you have registered for this particular webinar, be rest assured that we're going to get a video session with Dr. John Omololu sent to you directly to your email. So at this time, we are going to go into the questions and answer session. So if you have a question in the house, can you drop it? IBM Tours, this is your time to co-moderate with me. Can you check the chat room for anybody's questions? Okay, we have a contribution from Inkiruka Uguna.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
a contribution.
So please kindly drop your question in the chat room if you have any question at all.
All right. So while we are waiting for our questions, there is a contribution here from Inkiruka Uguna. She is talking about unifying our local destinations and prioritizing them, making sure our clients get value for their money after the tour. That's a very wonderful one. And Inkiruka, if you are in the house, can we hear your voice? Inkiruka, yes, please. You can come up. Yes, I can see you. You have the floor.
Ciao.
You have the floor. You have the floor.
Mommy, my children are making noise, so I can't leave the microphone out for long. They are all noise makers for that.
Yes, we appreciate their noise making. Like we understand that on lockdown, so we can't.
Are you doing meeting? Yeah.
Yes.
No, we have to, because myself, I used to live in Italy, and that, if you know about Italy, you know about that tourism is only there. What gives them that big money? You see them.
Okay.
The Venezia, the Rome, there's about tourism.
Okay.
And how do they get it done well? They make sure that clients get feedback. They get that value for their money.
Okay.
They do a follow-up of their customers each time there is that package, They make sure that the destinations are clean, the attractions are well maintained. Unlike here, like January 1st of this year, I took up to 3 families to Omo Resort. You know Omo Resort? I don't know if you.
Yes, we know Omo Resort.
Wonderful. It's like you won't even believe that this is in Nigeria. You can't believe it. And yet we have all these beautiful attractions and nobody visits there. People don't take their clients. Even Oyibos were there that day, January 1st. And we came with our food. We went for picnic. The 3 families were like, wow, Bella, you too much. Oh. We have never seen this kind of thing before in Nigeria. I say, you see, that's the mistake. If you go to La Tropica, you won't even come back. I took my customers there December, a family of 6. Wow, they were like, Bella, a very big man at Standard Chartered. He really enjoyed his money. And the feedback to me was that, the ladies there and the secretaries, they don't reply them on time. That's their only issue. Other things we are fine, but the services, I need to let them know. And I called them there immediately and let them know that they need to increase in their service relation. And they took them. That's very important. And I know they've worked on it. And if I have to send other people there, less complaints will come in. So we have everything in Nigeria. If you give me 50 million, I won't leave Nigeria. Not even by mistake. Not even by mistake. Because you can only run away because you have not stayed there. I've stayed there. No matter what pleasure you're getting wonderful. There, you can't go to your own fatherland. Because this is the only place you can make noise and nobody can harm you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Inkiruka. I can see your cute boy there is trying to wave at us. We appreciate you for showing your face. Thank you very much. Dafisayo, what do you have to say about our comments? She has taken people to Omo Resort on the campaign. Can you weigh in on that, Dafisayo?
Sure. No problem, I can definitely. So she made very valid points. Service is important. One thing she mentioned that actually spoke to me was having to make use of your local destination. People don't know most of these places, And even people that do not go to these places. And the reason why that connected to me was because I started blogging about tourism because I realized the gap in information on destinations in Nigeria and Africa at large. And that's why I decided to start making videos on destinations. For example, this Omo research you mentioned, I've done a video about it on my YouTube channel, So I agree totally with everything she has done. In my own case, as a promoter, my job is to promote, and we'll keep doing that with each videos and each article I write. So yeah.
Okay, stay there, Fisayo. This question is also for you. Someone here, Tejumola, is saying that what's the link or the app to access virtual tourism that Fisayo mentioned?
Okay, I'm going to put it on the chat now.
Okay, you can put it on group chat, and don't forget, Fisayo, we need to work on a master class on virtual tourism as soon as possible. I think our keynote speaker also mentioned the fact that virtual tourism is something you have to look at. Just some days ago, I was talking to my partners in Canada, because I'm a Canadian specialist. I specialize on Canada as a destination, and they were sending me some links of some virtual tour of Canada. That, you know, there's an hashtag that is going on right now by UNWTO, Travel Tomorrow. So, but while we are waiting to travel tomorrow, we can actually virtually tour today. So, thank you very much for that question, Tejumola. Okay, IBM, are you there? Do we have any question in the house? This meeting is going to come to an end.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, do we have any questions?
Not at all. We don't have any question yet.
Okay, all right. Do we have any contribution from any other participant? Any participant who want to contribute to what's going on? Okay, we have a comment from Peace Iyare. She says she's only interested in virtual tourism. So, IBM, Fisayo, after this webinar, we need to go back to our closed door session and talk about a virtual tourism masterclass very, very fast. Very, very fast. Okay. All right. Thank you for the link. Oh, you gave us 3 links. Fisayo, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get more. Thank you. No worries.
Okay. While we are expecting your further comments.
Thank you so much, Fisayo.
Yes, thank you. Please do well to copy all those links. Everybody, do well to copy them. I think a lot of people are interested in virtual tourism, and we're going to give it to you. Thank you for your feedback. To those of you who have dropped in your comments, we will definitely get back to you on that as soon as possible. We're going to be having a virtual tourism.
We have questions.
Webinar. Okay, what's the question? Please take it, IBM. Take the question.
Okay, the question is, one question here is, what is the name of the moderator and his social media handles, please? Thanks. That is from Tejumola.
Tejumola, thank you very much for asking about me. I am Captain Emmanuel Great, and that's me. I'm the moderator and the facilitator of this webinar. First of all, I must tell you that I am the founder and the CEO of Tourism Business Success International. And I founded Tourism Business Success International in 2018 after a decade of coaching, training, and consulting for tour operators, travel agencies, aviation schools, travel and tourism schools. I've done that for like 10 years. At 2018, I decided it's time to convert this into a business to help people, help travel agencies to organize and to help them start and run a successful travel and tourism business. So check me out on Instagram at Tourism TBS International. I'm also typing that now. Okay. So TBS Instagram handles is at TBS at Tourism TBS actually. So just give me 30 seconds. I'll put that for you on the chat in the chat room actually. At Tourism TBS, and what we have been doing is helping
Okay, we also
travel
have a
agencies
contribution
and
here.
tour operators to run their business successfully. So we do training, a lot of training, and part of the training is what you are seeing here today. We have more webinars coming up, and then you can check me on Facebook. My Facebook name is Captain Emmanuel Great. Just check me up on Facebook, Captain
Can you put the
Emmanuel
link
Great.
to the Facebook in the chat, please?
Yes, all right, I'll do that. Okay, this
Okay,
webinar is
we
not
also have a
about me.
contribution, more
That's
like
why. Please go ahead, IBM.
okay, we also have more like a contribution from Faith Oguntayo. She said, in the short time, okay, in short time I have been a tour operator, I have realized that most of the attractions are on the island, that's Lagos Island. We have she said LCC, that's Lekki Conservation Center, Orbit Center, Omo Resort, La Campagne Tropicana, and the distance discourage people sometimes, especially because of the road. This is from Faith Oguntayo, that road is one of the discouraging factor in terms of going to a tour attraction, going to a tourist attraction. That is from Faith Oguntayo. That's the contribution she has for now.
Okay, so IBM, what do you say to that? You are a panel member. What's your response to that question?
Okay. Okay, the absolute truth is Nigeria as a whole, our road network is very bad. As I always say to people, there are only 3 things in this country that if we have it stand by, I believe tourism is going to do more exploit. And those 3 things are if our security is in place, power supply is in place, and good road network. As she said road like La Campagne Tropicana, we've been there, that's it was this year, yes. And the road to get there is not good at all. It's not something good to write home about. So about this, Faith Oguntayo, the sincere truth is only those that love tourism. If it's something you're passionate about, fine, we know these are hindrances in this industry, but if it's something we're passionate about, we need to do it. You know, our government are not really helping, but if the passion is what drives us, then we shouldn't have excuses for road. The sincere truth is people are staying in that particular place. People are going there every day. Then we also can go there. These are part of the experience we face as tourists. So please, if that is a discouragement for you, please, I'm trying to tell you now that please, if it's something you're passionate about, I believe you shouldn't take that as a discouragement. You should do all your possible best to always go, even with bad road. Thank you.
I have a contribution.
I guess
So
let me say this in a summary. What I was going to tell Faith is to strategize our marketing into adventure marketing. So I say this because when I was in Uganda, there were several destinations I went to that were it was so far. If you were the one, like IBM just mentioned, going to like Campagne Tropicana for 2 hours, you might feel easily discouraged. But guess what? I was not discouraged. It might be that I was in a good car, or it might be that they already prepared my mind, so I was ready for the adventure. So your marketing is your marketing matters in the way you attract your clients, and then when they are prepared, they would of course not complain. And I mean, travel is an adventure on its own. So sometimes the whole summary of this is to market your tour operating or your tour services.
exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say basically.
Exactly.
All
So
right. IBM, any questions left?
Okay. For now, I'm not seeing any question again.
Okay.
No question yet.
So before you go, please, I want to go back to our keynote speaker and let us take his final remarks. He's going to be landing up in 5 minutes' time.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think what I need to add is to what the Josiah just said. I think we were on a trip together in Uganda. And to some of the destinations, it took us like 2 hours to get to. But along the line, there was fun. There was a lot of sightseeing on our way to our final destination. So I think what we need to do as a tour operator is that whenever we are having such a package for our clients, we should let them know ahead of time. Let them know that, okay, from Ikeja to Nakampa, it takes you 3 hours. But along that route, try to create experience for them. Maybe along the line, you have a stop for like 10 minutes at a place. You tell them one thing or the other about that particular place. I think that is
Exactly.
how we are being taken on that trip. One of
Exactly.
our trips took us like 2 hours, but along the road we were shown one or two things along the way. So it makes it not to be that boring, and we were already prepared for what is ahead of us. And finally, what I want to talk about once again is that we, the association, the groups, this is the time for us to come together, to synergize together, let's work together, and especially as youth. Like I said before, I like what is happening in Lagos. I wish I'm in that part of the country, but it's just unfortunate that I find myself in Abuja. But with COVID-19 now, I'm ready to work with you guys. So let's work together. Let's see how we can promote, how we can develop our domestic tourism, and how we can take as many youth as we can. Let them take them along. Let them pass our experience to them. There are a lot of things that they don't know. There are some of them that they cannot say out their mind. So let's give a room, an opportunity, privilege for them, an atmosphere where they will come and tell us their challenges, and let's see how we can help them out as leaders in the industry. Because I believe some of us here, we are leaders in our own way. So let's go out there and help people out. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much,
much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Now we are going to be rounding up this webinar for today. I want to use this time to appreciate every one of us. Once again, I have dropped my Instagram and Facebook handle for Tourism Business Success International. And Fisayo, Fedo Guntayo is asking for your email address. You've dropped it also. And then I think my panelists should also drop their email addresses. So IBM, drop your email address in the chat room. I don't know if my boss wants to drop his email address. So let's excuse my boss, the Nanta Vice President of Abuja and founder of Tourism Plus, from putting his email address. But the Fisayo, Babatunde Fajui, and IBM Tours, please let's drop our email address because we are young people, we can engage with each other. So before I take the closing remarks from my panel members, starting first with the Fisayo, I want to quickly inform every one of us about the next webinar, which is going to come up next week. This is happening next week. So this aviation, tourism, and hospitality post-COVID-19 recovery webinar is a series. In the series, we are looking at different sectors. So the one we are doing today is focused on travel, on youth tourism innovation. Next week, Thursday, same time, I want every one of you to get ready to join me and quickly start sending your names for registration. It is going to be focused on travel agencies and tour operators. And you can be very sure that we're going to be having our vice president on board again as a panel member. It is my pleasure that I am very sure rather that it will help me to get all the people involved. I'm hoping to have the president of NATOP and the president of NANTA on board this webinar for next week so that we can have a session for travel agencies and tour operators. And immediately after that, which is 23rd of April, immediate next week, Thursday, the next one that is coming up is the one that we are focusing on Dubai and Africa travel trade. So I've been in conversation with the Dubai Tourism Marketing Commission, DTCM, to look at what are they doing. You know, according to one of our industry stakeholders, talking about the Aquaba African Travel Market Coordinator, Ikechi Uko, he wrote in his blog, ATQ News, that in 2019, Nigerians were the largest international tourist arrivals to Dubai. So we are looking at hotels in Dubai, all the DMCs, tour operators, destination management companies, attractions in Dubai are shut down right now. Personally, I have clients that couldn't enter into Dubai. In fact, there was a client of mine who is going on a talk that their visa got cancelled while she was on board Ethiopian Airlines. On arrival in Dubai airport, they told them all UAE visa has been cancelled because of COVID-19. So we want to use this webinar to find out how is Dubai, the DTCM, how are their hotels, how are the destination management companies in Dubai, how are they preparing to recover from COVID-19? Because Dubai and Africa has a travel bond already. And that's going to be happening the last Thursday of the month, 30th of April. So I'm going to be sending these reminders to our emails, and I'm going to be expecting that we all will participate. So having done that, now let me take my closing remarks from my panelists. And I'm going to start with the Fisayo. The Fisayo, please quickly give us your closing remark, 2 minutes. Time is not on our side.
All right. Really, I'm honored to be here. Thank you once again for inviting me. So I will just do a quick recap on everything I said earlier. Number one, focus on gaining a new skill so that you can also make yourself relevant after COVID is over, so that you can also serve your clients better. Number two, collaborate with people in your industry so that you can grow your audience, and also so that you can learn from them and improve on your skills altogether. Number three, take master classes. If you want to learn how to be a travel blogger, I'm offering a master class on travel blogging. You can, send me an email, and then we'll talk more. And number four, like IBM said something earlier, focus on your local destination. So if you, right now, the only local destination is your house. I don't know, you can tell a story about whatever is going on within your life that will promote Nigeria. You can be creative. This is time to be creative. I still have content to share from other states I visited in Nigeria, like Kano State. There are beautiful places to visit in Kano. I will be releasing things like that on my YouTube channel. So try and be creative this period, basically. So yeah, that's my summary. Thank you once again. Please follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all of the above at TheFisayo, TheFisayo. And please visit my blog, www.thefisayo.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, TheFisayo. Yes, I think that's it. Thank you so much for
Thank you very much. I can see you've already dropped your handles. I'm reposting your handles again to everyone on the group. And then let me quickly say that our Vice President of NANTA, he is also the founder of Tourism Plus NG. Tourism Plus NG is another travel and tourism consulting firm. Let me use this opportunity to do a quick PR for Tourism Plus NG. So let me say that as travel and tourism business consultants in the industry, we are not many. I can identify myself and Ambassador K that we are focusing on travel and tourism business consulting. So if you need our consulting professional assistance for your travel agency in any area, I'm talking about company to company consulting, you can contact me at Tourism Business Success International. You can also talk to my boss. He is my boss in the industry, Tourism Plus NG. That is what we are doing apart from being travel agent, but we are not many in the industry. So you might want to take advantage of that. So I'm going to take now the closing remarks of my first panel member, IBM. Are you ready? IBM, are you in the house? Okay, IBM.
Hello.
Quickly give us your closing remarks. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Well, for my closing remark, one thing I just want to say is there is a lot of certainty now in the world, and the future is unpredictable for the world as a whole, not Nigeria. So we should try all our possible best to be as innovative as possible, and we should always be security conscious in whatever we do, because that is safety first. That is one major thing I do. And sorry, Faith Ogundayo said something like she dropped a message still about the travel. My boss does, Mr. Saki, about the experience he said. So I just want to throw in something about that too, about that particular stuff, like the roads are bad and how to encourage your clients to go with you even when they know the road is bad. As a matter of fact, the last trip I had, that was last 2 months. That was to Badagry in particular. We left from Ikeja and everybody was having issue with the road is bad. The sincere truth is some of these places, it's been years, ages that you've been there. People that have not been in Badagry for ages, when they followed me to Badagry, they saw the road. They saw that the government are now doing something on that road, now as we're speaking. And all of them was like, wow, so this road is now good. So it is very important that you yourself need to know that are doing something presently about the road. And if not, please and please, tour operators, packaging trip, everything is about experience from the moment you leave your pickup point to where you are taking them to and to whenever you're dropping them back. It is very important you know that. So please and please, let's stay safe, let's stay at home, and let's be innovative with whatever we want to do. Thank you so much. And thank you for having me, Mr. Captain. I really appreciate this. We would love to have more of this.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Definitely. The next week, Thursday, we are going to be continuing this webinar series, and we're going to be having focus on tour operators and travel agencies. So I'm still expecting every one of you, either you are a panel member or a participant, because we are all tour operators, we are all travel agencies. Thank you very much, everyone, for being a part of this first edition, maiden edition of Aviation, Tourism, and Hospitality Post-Covid-19 Recovery Webinar. Next week,
okay if
we are going to be, Defisayo, you want to say something? Time is really out. Time is really out,
worries.
But you can just say, maybe let me give you 30 seconds to have your say.
30 seconds.
Yes.
30 seconds. Faith, what you need to do is follow what Mr. Kayode said. Try and create experiences.
Okay, are you trying to answer Faith's question?
Yes, but I actually just saw it.
Please take your time. Take your time.
Just follow what Mr. Kayode said earlier. He said, I know that the trip is 2 hours, so to make your clients more enthusiastic towards the trip, break it down. Say, okay, for the first 30 minutes, we're going to have a stop at this place, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Then after that, we're going to go to the next destination. And then just create experiences around this, basically. Just be creative. Business is about being innovative. You cannot grow if you are not innovative. Just be creative with it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Please, can everybody join me and give a round of applause to my speaker and panelists of today? They have been very, very wonderful. A round of applause to you guys. Thank you very much for being responsive. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
For being,
thank you so much.
Many of you, in fact, let me say everybody that you see here on my panel, I informed them about this webinar 48 hours to this webinar, and they have made themselves available. Thank you very much, Mrs. Nkiruka Obuna, for your contribution. And I can't forget, you made a statement. I will chat you up personally on that, because you said if they give you 50 million naira, you will not leave Nigeria. So I'm coming back to that. It's a very wonderful one. And I love when I hear people who love Nigeria, who are not giving up on this country like that. You can see on your screen, the next webinar is next week, Thursday, 23rd of April. It is the same time, 1 p.m. And we're going to be focusing on travel agencies and tour operators. I'm looking forward to have the president of NANTA and also the president of NATOP and other industry association heads or executives on board. Let's come and talk about how the business is. Many of us have refunds to do. Many of us have issues with airlines. Airlines have even stopped picking calls. Many of us have reissues, refunds, date change, reschedules. What are we doing? On board that session, I will try as much as possible to bring an airline on that session. Let's hear from the airline perspective. What are they doing? What are they planning to do to help us to deal with our customers on the issue of reschedules and refund and issues? And we're going to talk about domestic tourism, how tour operators should be promoting domestic tourism at this COVID-19 season. See you everyone next week for focus on travel agencies and tour operators on the aviation, tourism, and hospitality post-COVID-19 recovery webinar. Don't forget to check our Instagram and Facebook handle at Tourism Business Society International, at TBS, at Tourism TBS International. Engage with my speakers and panelists. You have their data, you have their handles. Engage with them one-on-one. Get your questions answered. If you have any other question that you couldn't come up with now, but you come up with them later, send an email to us at Tourism Business Success. And looking on your screen, you will see the email address to register for the next webinar, tourismbusinesssuccess@gmail.com. The same procedure, send your full name, send in your agency name, phone number, and we're going to register you for the next webinar. And don't forget, I can hear your feedback. You want a virtual tourism masterclass, we are going to give it to you. Just wait a little bit. We're going to update you on when the virtual tourism masterclass is going to happen. Thank you very much, everybody, and see you next week in the next webinar. Bye for now, and thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.